Hello, 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 hello. 4 minutes 20. I never know how long to leave it. I don't have any figures in front of me as to how many people are here, but from experience, we're learning. We're learning that if we start the stream a couple of minutes after, then it gives time people to arrive. So hey, hi. I'm not ill. I'm super tired. I look in like my bags are really huge in the mirror. I feel so tired. Yesterday, as I imagined it would be, it was quite stressful. A very long day. Then I spent the rest of it with James playing The Sims 2, which was pretty good. I've not played that for about 10 years. I've seen streams of people playing them or videos on YouTube, but I haven't played it myself, so that was so good. Made a family, James and I. Made 2 of my cats. I never actually played animals with The Sims 2. Sims 2. I just had the original expansion packs and then just the basic Sims 2. So yeah, we didn't stream that, by the way. That was just us playing. I think James would like to stream, but I don't know, I kind of enjoyed it on our own yesterday. Right, today the plan is to stay awake, stay awake and get the rest of this done because it is drying so badly. So I'm not going to be able to work on this in the way I'd like to, because you can work on it as much as you want, but I'm not going to be able to work on this as much as I would like for as long as I expected I would be able to. I expected it to last a couple more weeks. So yeah, gotta get stuff done. So this is what I painted yesterday, and this bit here is still quite wet. I'm not happy with it at all. It looks too simplistic for me. And there's a little bit of greenage here, which I said I was going to put some white in over the top. So that's my plan for that bit anyway. But we're so close. I might start on the background today. The background is quite a commitment. I think all painting is a commitment, but yeah, if I start on that, then I really am committed for the next week. So yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Right, let's have a look. Let's see who's here. Hello. If you do miss a stream, my streams are going up on my art YouTube accounts. I'm still trying to find a thumbnail that I like that sort of tells people that it's a live stream. I don't really want my live streams to then... The amount of people that don't necessarily want to watch a live stream, they might miss an actual video. So I'm still finding what works. So just dropping a brush, a massive graduate brush. My intention is to do some of the background if I use that. Because I actually bought a graduate brush and can't talk graduate brush and a dearer Georgian oil because to me they looked so similar, only this one is slightly thicker here, which is more annoying for me to hold. I've got tiny hands. I don't know. So yeah, we'll see. I was just comparing the thickness. So I have yellow on my brush. This bit is more or less dry. I can sort of lean on that now. I'm not going to, but more or less dry. Hello, Hecklin. Hello, I'm live. The time is 12 to 1. It feels like it's the middle of the night for me. I'm just not with it. Better not have a cold. I did have a baby sneeze on my hand this week, which was not nice. My fluid fear just skyrocketed with this child. So that's slightly in the back of my brain right now. I did use hand sanitizer, by the way. Always have hand sanitizer when you're working with children, every time. I want to come in and just put a little bit of colour. Because there's a lot of... See, it looks fairly complete, I suppose. But there's loads of little... That was one of the things on my list I had to do, was just tidy it up, just a tad. Let's just check that's in. I'm a little bit nervous at the moment because this light does keep flickering for no reason. There we go, it's hugely distracting. But also I don't want a light to blow, especially as we go into the winter months. No thank you. I haven't put my radiators on yet. It's actually super cold in here today. It's tempting, but it's so expensive, like ridiculously expensive here. 40 pence per radiator per hour, that's what we think it is. And they're not the best. it's just a little bit darker there. I'm worried that's too bright, but if I turn it down, then my... If I pull it back a little bit. Maybe. So that sort of starts to match that a little bit more. These bits here, the colour goes out and it goes into white. I'd like to paint... Is it dry? I think we can paint on that now, thank goodness. I'd like to paint a blue circle in there, of some kind anyway. Okay. Just doing the bits I couldn't do when it was wet. My neighbour has some good news today, not good news. After months and months of campaigning, they're now going to let us do plastic recycling where I live. That is a big thing, because we've been wanting it for so long, and like the plastic situation downstairs is horrendous. I mean, the bin situation downstairs is horrendous, full stop, but to recycle plastic, I mean, we pay the regular council tax here, and we barely get any of the stuff that everybody gets with when they pay their council tax, so that seems a bit unfair. So that's good, but also the fact that we can now recycle a little bit more. They've given us a whole list of things we can't recycle. It's pretty extensive. Where's my white? Oh, it's there. Is it thundering here? No. It's just very... it's got a little bit brighter actually in the last hour. So dark this morning. James and I woke up to very, very heavy rain. We both had nightmares actually involving water. His involved the fire department and mine involved drowning, being drowned in the bath. Tied down and drowned in the bath. So the water got into our brains as we slept. See, slightly grey. I know you can't necessarily see. I do like storms actually. I like storms when I'm not working in them. It's like walking to and from the swimming pool in the rain is not nice. Thank you. The style of this is definitely more oils than acrylic. I've learned that. I kind of knew that, I guess, but to actually play with it, it feels 10 times better than with the gouache and watercolour. With the gouache and watercolour, it sort of went very liney. I've got it in the other room. So when my parents came over, was it yesterday? Day before yesterday, at the end of my stream, I literally disappeared when they arrived. We ended up blitzing the flat and moving everything around to the best of our ability. So now the piano's in the old bedroom, along with the bed, which was originally there, but then it moved into the art room. The old art room is still the bedroom, but it's got a double mattress in there now, which is incredible. What else has changed in there? No, just the double mattress. Because the rooms in this flat are so peculiar. They're weird shapes. You can only just about get certain furniture in certain ways, and then it sort of disables the rest of the room. You can't really use the rest of the room for anything because of the shape. So in the small room with the ensuite, I can barely get a double bed in there. Like I had the mattress on there for a few days, and it was a nightmare because you literally couldn't do anything else. You couldn't get any other furniture in there. And that is the double bedroom. Makes no sense. But anyway, life feels a little bit more organised. Except for the fact you can't see, but I have a massive white desk there that came out of the art room. So I'm trying to make this go white into yellow as opposed to lilac into green into yellow. Just fixing it a little bit. Because it's sort of half dry, it's dried quicker, this should not have dried this fast. You really have to work into it. Oh, I love the sound of rain, I really do. I can sleep to rain. I prefer to sleep to rain than like cars. Although the guttering outside the art bedroom window, up high, 2 floors up, it has broken somehow. So when it rains, the rain then hits my windowsill, and then I can't sleep if I sleep in there. So that's a problem. Like it's like a proper proper banging. Dun-dun. What is the most expensive brush I have ever bought? I spent £100 on brushes in 2009. I mean, obviously, you know, inflation, probably a little bit higher than that now, but big Georgian oil brushes. And this is the only brush that I've got left from that set that I bought. I'm not sure if that's the most expensive, but that's the most money I guess I've bought in one go with brushes. Yeah. I finally got rid of them in January, actually. It took a lot for me to part with them, because even though they didn't work and the bristles were ruined and whatever, having had them that many years and used them on so many canvases, took me a lot to let go. Okay, that's better. Am I going to do the background in oil or acrylic? I am going to do it in oil because it's going to enable me to create the sort of blurry effects a bit like this. That's what I'm going for in my brain at the moment anyway. So I'm not one for mixing oils and acrylics on canvases. It really depends. I've had problems in the past where I've painted acrylic and then tried to paint oil over the top and vice versa, and the paint, despite the fact it's all dried, the paint hasn't mixed. I tried to paint over one of my old canvases from like 2011 at university. I hate it so much. So I thought, oh, I'll try and improve it. And it just made it 10 times worse because the paint wouldn't stick to the canvas and I literally ruined the painting. I've got that at my parents'. So it's a terrible painting anyway. It was more of an experiment, but still, in this case, yes, it would be separate, but it would cause a lot of stress painting that fast, so it doesn't dry. Yep, this is my favourite perfume bottle. Favourite perfume, and it's the bottle. That's the plan anyway. To check I haven't missed anything. I'm trying to. I mean, trying to do more streams. Last week was a bit different in the sense I had a few more days than normal, and then this week it sort of goes back to normal. The busyness recommences. Yeah, I'm wearing it. Okay. See, it's dried. Oh, the trousers. The trousers I mentioned yesterday on the stream. These are the trousers, the one that have had lots of different paint over them in their time, and they're still going strong and they don't look like they've got paint on them. I couldn't find my blue trousers today. I keep so many clothes for to wear as aprons when I paint, and I tried a pair on about an hour ago, and I've had them since, I don't know, I was 17 and I can't get them on. They're too tight around my tummy. So I can't find my the blue trousers I normally wear. I can't find them. I took them off in a rush yesterday when the parents arrived. So I've put these on instead. I'm gonna try not to get paint on them. Everything's too small. I'm really having to press quite hard because it's dried. Excuse me. I think I might use the wrong blue. Yeah. Have I gone back to any paintings? Yes, one painting I put on hold for a very long time was one with bottles. I originally started painting it in acrylic in November 2011, and it was horrendous. It was terrible. You can see it in the background of a couple of videos from that period. And the painting was sort of inspired by a photograph I took of because at university, the flat below drank so much alcohol, there was constantly bottles around their flat, and in ours, but downstairs was horrendous. So I just asked if I could take some bottles. I did. We put them all on the windowsill, took loads of photos. It inspired me to paint. But yeah, so I did it in acrylic, and no, 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 no. Sort of put it on hold for a year. Tried 2 years. Tried again to paint more of it. This time I painted more in oils. More lining marks as opposed to blending. It worked a little bit better, but I never finished it. And then late 2016, I think I finally finished it, and I have a print of it. It should be in my shop. If not, I'll put it back up, because loads of my prints have expired in the last few weeks, so I'm still putting things back up. But the painting went on and on and on. It never seemed to finish. I'm still not happy with it. Really, really unhappy with the placement of the bottles. I want to like move it over about 2 inches. Makes a difference. Okay, that's much better. That's much better for me. Good, good. Do I have any future painting ideas? I'd like to spend more time exploring colour for the time being. Oh, there we go. Sort of get back into the habit of painting. That's super important. I think I jumped in too fast. In May, I tried to paint for the first time in years with oils, and it's funny comparing that painting to this. I can see my mistakes. I can see how, what's the opposite to detailed? Large the detail was. This is so intricate in comparison, and it's the same size canvas as well. So I think explore more with colour. I was talking to my mum though. This is more of a hobby, I suppose, at the moment, than a profession. Like there's potential for income, but it's not paying my bills. None of this will pay my bills at all. So it is literally a hobby. So I sort of want to treat it like a hobby, I suppose. I can never paint professionally, I don't think. Somebody I went to school with, she does, I wouldn't say graffiti, but it's spray work. And she goes all over the world painting now. Good. See, there is a little bit of a line there. Just want to get the placement right. Is it lower down? See, I want to make that line more firm and bring that round on the left. Gosh, I'm tired. Okay, good, good. Good, 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 good. Years, many, many years with the bottle painting. Another one that I started in 2012 and didn't finish until 2017 was a painting of Brythnoth in Malden. In 2011 I took a series of panoramic photographs around Malden and then painted a couple. And one of them I painted was just a panoramic view near a big statue in the middle of a sea, like on a spit. And I started that in acrylics around 2011, probably 2012, April. And I sort of finished it to a standard for university. And was never ever happy with it. And then sort of picked it up again. On Twitch, actually. Yes, I remember trying Twitch with that. Don't know if the stream would still exist. See, this I'm probably going to go over with acrylic later. Oil later, but a different colour later. Around the edge. Okay. Da-ba-dum-dee-dum, dee-da-da-da-dum. Hufflepuff pajama bottoms. Right, let's put blue in there. So you need a little bit of white to change the opacity of the darker colours. That's what I find anyway, especially if you're adding linseed oil. Just noticed the Twitch chat is not appearing on the YouTube video that's streaming on YouTube. I am seeing the Twitch chat, by the way. I need James to come and fix it. You can't see, can you know? I'm holding the tissue like this in my hand. Oh no, you can over there, yeah. Sort of leaning on my arm, that's why. Am I still pushing the Etsy? I am, yes, but it's still more of a hobby. So all of my bills come from my YouTube and photography job. So no, we're picking Etsy back up, but income-wise, swimming pool is, yeah, the big thing. It's scary, that. Can't believe it's dried. Although I did leave it, oh, maybe I did leave it a day or two. Malden. The Essexes, it's one of those pronunciations where no one really knows what's correct. Malden. Malden, not Morden. Malden. 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 Brythnoth of Malden. Even Brythnoth, the way it's written changes all the time. So the hashtag for it is just all over the place. No one knows. Don't want it too oily. Because this bit of the bottle is actually silver. And this swirly thing here in the centre is a reflection of my sad lamp. Not sad lamp. Salt lamp. There you go. I always say that. Always get that the wrong way around. Because I took the photo of this on my windowsill in the art room when my bedroom was still, that was still my bedroom. So I was sitting on my bed, this on the windowsill, lamp to the side, because the lamp was on the windowsill at that point. I probably took the photo in March. No air. See, I want that to come around, and that actually should be white. Don't know why I painted that grey. Looks all right from a distance though. Thank you. Description box. Oh, it should do. Thank you. It should work. I'll have a look. Hold on. Thank you. I appreciate that. On this particular video, because I quickly did it before I came on. I'm listening to When I Look at You by Miley Cyrus. It could be... Oh, I know why it's done that. Thank you. Oh, no, maybe not. No, it did go in properly. That's interesting. Let's try that. Dee-dum. Your shop. I think it's given the link when I've logged in as opposed to my link to my shop. Thank you, I really, really appreciate that. Ta-da! Yeah, so I think at the moment I've blocked links. Because one of the things that was happening a few months ago is people were posting links to bad places and also sharing my address on here. So I've blocked everything you can think of. Tons of big words are blocked. And links. I think when James is here, he can approve them. James is like my moderator. Dee-dum, dee-dum. Oh dear, I could talk for hours about university at art school. University as opposed to art school. Floppy fan art, hello. I should keep saying I can see the Twitch chat. It's not showing on my on the YouTube live stream or Twitch stream, but I can see it. Get to see my lovely face and my other light as well. I might have to outline it at this rate. Happy Sunday. For me, it's like a Thursday because of the way my shift pattern works at work. I don't really have weekends anymore. So that sort of Sunday feeling I don't get. Apart from the fact I have to listen to the sermon at church now. But apart from that, there's no real Sunday feeling. It's the same with the post office. I was going to go to the post office today and post everything, but I've forgotten. Sunday. Ah. There is one post office near me, but I don't trust it at all. I was really disappointed. I've had parcels go missing from there, and the post office is a bit of a nightmare. It's not really a post office. It is a post office, but the way it behaves is not a post office. It's more self-service than it is like real genuine support. There we go. So and especially with orders that, you can't really replace them. At the end of the day, you can replace a print, but original canvases. I had one go missing in Dubai once. turned out that if you post to Dubai, you have to have some sort of post box. You have to purchase a post box for a temporary period of time in order to receive a parcel from outside the UK. And that the person that bought it didn't know that. So the parcel went out there and they to their home address and they couldn't get it. And it was missing for about 6 months. Finally came home. I was very shocked when it turned up at my post office box. That's my return address. That's a little bit better. Not dark enough there, and that curvature isn't right. But then the curvature isn't right on my drawing either. I'd like to do some more prints. Don't sneeze. That is on my list. Don't sneeze. Don't sneeze, don't sneeze. I'm not gonna sneeze with a wet paintbrush. It's a case of having enough to create prints of. It's more expensive if you just go and create one print. You sort of need to have a couple at least to take to the printers, because you have to go backwards and forwards and get the colours right. And the printers that have done all my prints before are quite far away now, so it'd be quite a journey every time. So I want to build up a little bit more first, I think, and funds as well, because it costs us a lot of money to get them all done. But yeah, it sounds really negative, all of that, but those are genuine reasons why not yet. Ooh, hello follower. Dana Marie, hello. That's quite a nice name, Dana Marie. Dana. Okay, we'll do an outline. I think we're going to have to, because it just doesn't look precise enough to me. Thank you. Yeah, what I do is when I do my Etsy orders, I put a little card. I haven't got any on the table. Actually, I'll be covering paint anyway. They're there. I have a little business card. I've got some left from 2017, so my hair's a bit shorter on them. But I write a little note. If there's a name, I will write the name of the person that purchased. Sometimes I have people leave notes on Etsy when they purchase that say, hey, this is actually a present for so-and-so. Could you please put to so-and-so? And in that case, I do. But I like to write little personal notes, because I know lots of, like, I say big YouTubers, they sell merchandise that hasn't come directly from them. They've created something that comes from a warehouse, whereas my art actually comes from my hands. And I'm the only one that goes through it all. So I like to sort of reinforce that it has come from a real person. Someone real has put it through. Also, it's like, you know, it's kind of like a nice little connection there. With Tritch, I always write a little Tritch note if someone says they have Tritch. Dee-dum. Comes over. Good. Nearly finished. I'd say we're at least another hour on the bottle. I'm not as fast as I used to be. I wasn't actually going to stream this. I think I said the other day I'd sort of do this on my own because there wasn't that much to do. And James was like, no, stream it. He says, we want to do a time lapse of it all. I have destroyed 2 brushes doing this painting though. They're not oil brushes. So the other one that I'm already the painting with is dying. I'm not going to be able to use it again. All the bristles have gone. But it's not an oil brush, so I'm listening to Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine, and it's bizarre because this song always reminds me of Lucy Liz. So I think Lucy Liz did a under Addy 3, she did a video to this in like 2008, 9, with loads of photos and her friends with masks. So I don't think of the music video with the ladies all painted in blue, I think of Lucy. Is the management in? No, James is at his. He did want to come over, but it meant moving his computer, and I was a little bit like, his computer's massive. He may surprise me. I did tell him I was streaming, but I kind of came home and I've been home a little bit longer than I thought before I would start streaming, so he might be busy now. Even this brush isn't very good. Yeah. Well, I know when I first started selling paintings, my mum and I were trying to come up with ways that we could not make me better than everybody else, no, not at all, but sort of, what's it called? Pump up the value of what you're doing. So after the first batch of paintings I sold, we came up with putting, I can't show you because my hands are covered in oil, but putting the little paintings in, like the little ones that are like this big, in little tiny netting bags, almost silk bags. It was just something else that made it a little bit more exciting when you opened it. It's the worst thing, I think, like when I ordered on Depop from people, when things would come wrapped up in like black sacks. If it's wrapped up in like a proper envelope, even that, just having a proper envelope arrive is so much better. Try not to make that green. I want that to be darker. Because yeah, of course, like selling online, it's partially about a profit, because of course you want to make a profit. But at the same time, you're sending something out into the world, you kind of want to make it the best you can, because once it's gone, it's not yours anymore. And you don't know where they end up either. It's like books with authors. Sometimes I think about how authors must feel when they see their books in charity shops. It must really hurt. Like some of them might end up on the tip in like 5 years. Other people that have bought my paintings might keep them for like 20 odd years, or they could end up in an attic somewhere in 300 years time. Who knows? I'll try and make things the best. I suppose combine that all with anxiety and all of that lark. It's amazing I put anything out. I do find Etsy a little bit scary sometimes, but it's my anxiety. It's not the fact that people are scary. It's why James is actually super helpful right now. He's helping me get over that anxiety. Even simple things like opening messages. We went through messages together. So some of you suddenly got messages this week, or last week actually, from like 2 years ago. That was quite nice actually. Because I always worry. Okay. I swear my blind just moved and my window's not open. There's no cat in the flat either. That needs to be darker. How to do with the cats when I paint? Well, the palette, when I first started painting, did have cat hair in it. That was fun. The very, very first stream of this, you'll see I keep moaning about cat hair, picking cat hair off. I haven't, well, when I was painting the first painting, I did have Grable and Puss in the flat, and I remember them getting in the way a little bit. They wanted to keep sitting on my lap when I was painting. So from that perspective, annoying, but it's more the cat hair that's the worst. But right now I have no cat in the flat at all, so I'm okay. But yeah, I mean, cats and Etsy orders, you have to be careful of as well with cat hair. I've had cat hair getting sellotape before, and then you have to take all the sellotape off. Even like one hair, if it's like obvious there's a hair in the sellotape, you know. And my own hair as well, I've had that. Because I tear my hair out, there's been hair in orders, but I try my best. Maybe not even charity shops, just like, okay, maybe on the tip then. About a year ago, I took loads of books to the tip. They don't necessarily, when I say the tip, it's not necessarily just throwing everything out and getting burned or recycled to make, you know, new paper or something like that. It's a bit of a complicated tip. But they have a recycling plant for books, and they go through them, they might sell them, they might give them to charity. So I think I do feel bad about giving books away. I don't really read. I don't really have time to read at the moment. So I don't really need all the books on my shelf. There's books I keep telling myself I'd like to read just so I can get rid of them, like Rosie, the Rosie Project. I don't know anything about it, but I've had that book in my possession for like 2 years now, and I still haven't read it. So I just want to read it so I can get rid of it. My head in the way? I know in one stream this week my hair was in the way a lot. Okay. See, that's dry. I'm holding my tissue. I will let go, Dom. I know James has told me to read the chat more, but I always find it funny how when he reads it, all he's doing is reading it, whereas when I'm doing it, I'm multitasking with painting and thinking about colour and all sorts. It's kind of hard getting that multitasking going. Like when you stream on Instagram, you're literally just seeing the text and responding. There's not really much else going on, whereas this, your brain's in like 3 different places. And I've got music playing, which has got lyrics in it. I'm listening to Taylor Swift. Actually, no, I'm listening to a big playlist of various different artists, but right now I'm listening to Taylor Swift. Blank Space. I'm listening to my pop playlist. Popish, it's called. What I perceive to be as pop. There we go, there's a bit of a line on that now. Hooray! Still might let that dry a little bit before I feel much better about that than when I started. That's got a bit more of a cylindrical feel to it. Where are the cats? All my cats are at my parents' at the moment. Puss is not very well. Even though she went back to my mum's, she's still not very well. Which is not very good. It's old age. But the rest of the cats are fine. The rest of the cats are happy and cute. Oh, I miss my babies. I do. I mean, I love James, but I do miss my cats. Okay. This is the only bit I'm not, this cylindrical bit here at the bottom of it, not happy with that. Because it's not blended enough, it's not, and it's not blended and it's not sharp enough. It's like I've got to decide one or the other. Oh, now I'm listening to Bad Blood. I'm on the Taylor Swift part of my playlist. Yeah, it's difficult to know what to do for a minute. Gotta be so careful. No, more oil. Gosh, loads of comments all at once. Amazing. See, I hate lino and mixed media, unfortunately. Thank you for the recommendation, but I absolutely hate lino. Hate it with a passion. Sliced my hand open at college doing lino, actually. I hate ink, as in like rolling ink, clay, anything sort of crafty. Not a fan. Especially when it gets up my nails. Like, I can deal with paints and then the cleaning process of paints, but any more than that, it's a bit no. Da-dum-dum. Okay. It's dried so much. Ah! Bum. Not the end of the world. And then, should I wait for this to dry or should I go in whilst it's wet? Oh my gosh, steady hand. I can't do this, come on. Just painting a little fine white, dark line. But if you mess it up, you ruin all the work you've done for the last hour. Or how long it's been, I can't see. Okay, that perspective doesn't look right to me, but it's not as tall as the one I've got on my, what's it called? But if I make it any taller, can I make that bigger? This is oil, so that's why I'm stressing, because it's dried a lot faster than I thought it would. Like 2 days actually. The basis of what I'm working on, I only did about 2 nights ago. From my experience, but then again, I did paint massive canvases, so maybe that's why. I'm learning. I'm not happy with the shape. I mean, it looks fine, but it's supposed to be like a lid. At the moment, it just looks like a little bubble on the top. Have I got any more reds? Yes, I have. Good. Yeah, because that takes out the opacity. It is actually quite dark around like the thing I'm referencing, so it's not bad that I'm making it darker and slightly wider actually. I'm gonna make it taller, just by a little bit more. Trying to make my own black, red and blue. Okay, cool. Just means more blending. Okay. Nice, thank you. Oils. Okay, shape's better. That's much better. Could still come down a little bit more to the left. I mean, you're seeing it from an angle there, but... I'm also thinking carefully about the fact that I am going to be doing a background, so... You gotta think ahead! Right, where's my other brush? Let's go in with a little brush. Bigger brush. Poor brush. Probably better to do it with a basic colour, so that I can, if I need to, go over it again when I do my background. Okay, that's better. Tiny bit of oil, just a little tiny bit. Ooh, follower. Oh, did my voice? Hello. I think you said nice, didn't you? Yes, you did. Hey, hello, and welcome. I think my tags on Twitch might be wrong. I might still be under watercolour. This ain't watercolour. And I'm hiding behind my canvas for a minute, sorry. Ah, don't lean on it, don't lean on it. Oh, that was close. Okay, good. Cool. That was very close. Woohoo! Oh, I love this blue. Let's see, that's dried. If I could blend that, I would, but it's dried. Okay, wait for that to dry. Don't, Rebecca, don't. Resist. 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 Wait for it to dry. That one little bit was annoying me. Okay, resist. Resist. Still needs to come over. My goodness. Mm-hmm. Yep. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Hooray! Okay, we're getting there. My shape is better. Hooray! Woohoo! Ah. But then, because that's too dark around the edge, then that bit doesn't look right. I want to get that little bit darker there, which is slightly being reflected from where you are. Careful, careful, careful. Whew. So tiny. I don't know. Even years ago, I didn't paint this small. Okay, 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 okay. Thank you. I have a nice personality. When I'm like this, I don't know what I'm like. I had this, what was it? James and I were playing, well, we were taking it in turns to play solitaire yesterday. And I was getting so stressed watching him play because I was going to do everything differently and I would be a lot faster than him. And I was a little bit like, the whole time just watching him play. He learned something new about me yesterday. I'm both competitive and have no chill. Hey, Spice Girls, Viva Forever. Okay, I put a little bit dark in there. Still not, it's not quite the same as my reference, but it will do. Part of me thinks just going for the background, seen as the majority of the bow is complete. This bit is not complete here. That is terrible. But I can't think of what to do yet. Right, I'm just going to get my box of watercolour pencils, because I'll use those to draw with. Oh, hips. Dum dee da da dum bum. Dee da 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 dum. Dee dum 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 dee dum. Okay. Oh, I'm just going to do a little happy dance for a sec. Hips hurt a little bit. No, I have no reference for the next bit. Just drawing some lines, I suppose. No, let's draw that over. I don't want them to be symmetrical either. Oh, lost my pencil there. Can you see my lines from there? No, you can't. Just gives me an idea before I start going in, because it's been so long since I've painted. This will be a larger surface area. It's been so long since I've painted something like this that need a bigger brush. How did I do that? You can't see I've got paint all down my trousers. Dad got paint himself yesterday, and it was blue as well. No. Try it, Harold. Actually, I could show you by that, couldn't I? Whee! I got paint all over them. No. My dad seemed to get blue paint all over him yesterday, and we don't know where from. Well, I've got paint on me now. Can't go back. It's been so long since I painted oils with a bigger brush that I'm actually, this is my hesitant Rebecca. See, is that too small? Do I start working with that one? That is actually a proper Georgian oil one. I need to remember which blue it is now. That's gonna be fun. It's all dusty. Yeah, I think that's correct. I'm really nervous. Melissa Jerry, thank you. Thank you. Have I achieved much? I know in 2014 I did a lot, but the last year or so, oh, I need to remember they're longer as well. Last year or so, apart from the house, don't know what else I've done. I'm not very good at taking compliments. Take the compliment, Rebecca. Thank you. No, James tells me I'm not very good at that. Got the big palette. I'll show you in a second. This is the first time I've used this palette actually. It belonged to my sort of like step-grandma. Very heavy. It's not plastic. It's proper ceramic. Let's just check it is the right blue. Yes, it is. Okay, that is a pretty blue. Yeah, it's a warm blue. Not a cool blue. Got to remember which one it was now actually. Where's it gone? Okay, that was a preferred blue. You would have thought after years of painting I would know the difference, but no, even now I still get them wrong. When they're in the acrylic tubes, I can tell the difference, but when they are like that, no, I'm gonna need a lot more paint. See, now the important thing is, what color do I do directly outside of the bubble, like the bottle? Because it makes a difference. It'll either make it stand out or compress it inwards. So, pardon me, excuse me. You don't want it to be too similar. Aha, she's off. That's scary. It is. I need a lot more paint, I think. Can you see me blending? Just. Okay, that feels entirely different, that brush. Okay, let's just put cake brush over there. I'm getting in. I'm getting in. I need a lot more paint. Oh my goodness. Just the brush. I know you shouldn't use, but it's not that bad. Gosh. I'm gonna cry. Why am I crying? I know why I'm crying, because this whole situation, holding a massive brush like this and painting like big section, this is a big section, for me anyway, is incredibly nostalgic. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. It's going on, the brush feels entirely different as well. I think I might have said that. Oh, James would be laughing if he was here. It's just paint. It's just paint. I'm doing it darker at the bottom, so there's the suggestion of a shadow. There was a shadow actually, the colour sort of, it was more purpley underneath, in my reference photo anyway. Not as liney at all. Oh, mind the headphones. I probably should make this higher, I suppose. Because I was very known for doing blending. Excuse me. At school, I spent hours just sort of doing this sort of motion. So that's... Hold on, I need to move my reference photo down so I can sort of see it from a distance. Yeah, okay. Bob Ross, lots of people have been talking to me about Bob Ross actually in the last few weeks, last week I've been doing this. I remember Bob Ross as a kid. I don't really feel I've watched him in my adult life that much. I remember his hair. But yeah, he's got a very soothing voice. Paints lots of trees. although I found out something that sort of made me feel like, not that he was cheating, but it made me a little bit annoyed. He, what's the word? Did 3 paintings per episode. So we thought he was just, you know, painting one. He did one for close-ups, one when he was actually painting, and another one I can't remember what for. Yes, dum dum, not yet. That's probably a weird thing to sing out loud. Sensual World by Kate Bush is far more sexual than I used to remember it to be, because I loved the video of her dancing through the woods and sort of singing a little bit seductively, but when you actually listen to the lyrics, entirely different to what I kind of thought, I think. Can you hear the brush on the canvas? Can you hear it? I'm doing it lightly. I'm gonna go back to the beginning of my playlist. No, let's do Chilling Rich, Through the Door. Through the Door, Lumidelic, Awakening Dreams. There you go. I think I need to put a tiny bit of red in this. Not to make it purple, but to give it a little bit more depth, because at the moment, I'm doing what my teacher told me not to. It looks very out of the tube. And it is the colour that I like, but at the same time, it needs a bit of, just needs more depth. Over here, anyway. Okay, we need to make this a lot darker. Hey, there you go. Do I make this higher or do I turn it? I'm a right-hander, so... Can you see that? Yeah, you can. I know artists watching are going to tell me off for holding the brush too close. It's been a while. I'm sort of relearning all my mistakes. I really am. Like, even with linseed oil. The last week. Get the basis on. Get a lot of paint on the canvas, and then we can spend time doing detail. Come on, Rebecca. See, that looks way too thin. I can't do this. There we go. There's not enough paint on here. Just don't want it to dry. If I'm going to start this, I've got to commit. Also, I can't quite see the colours because of the reflection of the light. I know there's a video, I recorded me, you shouldn't really record yourself, but this is going back a few years. It was easier to sort of sneakily film because, oh, was that an email? Anyway, I filmed myself painting my A2 art exam, parts of it anyway, and there's just a clip of me painting the dungarees on a portrait I did, and I'm just like, really aggressively, and it looks really good, but I'm really like over the top aggressive. But then the bit I was probably painting was like this size with a huge brush. See, that doesn't look wet to me. It's almost like this particular brush is taking off lots of the paint as I'm brushing. See, I can't get to it when it's there. I've got to hold this canvas. I did do it right. I did do the correct colour. I was worried for a moment I hadn't done the right cut. Oh no, don't do that, because then I can't hold the canvas. Don't want to waste oil. Can I not bring the oil over? This is probably where I need to stand up, I suppose. I might stand up. Just gotta remember where to put this that's safe for a second. Okay, bear with me a moment. This is nostalgic. Bye-bye, camera. Woohoo! Can I go any higher? Okay, that's as high as I can go. That'll have to do. You can see my parents' curtains. Can you see the curtains there? They were my parents in the noughties, and they're now mine. Well, Mum actually wanted to get rid of them, but then one day she came over with my auntie, and they literally put them up without my permission. I think James came over actually at that point. That won't go any higher, so I have to move it around a little bit. Where can I? Oh, I could do that. Okay. You're my microphone, you. Hello. James, you've tightened it. There we go. And then I can move that as well, can't I? Don't really want that in the way. All the noises. Alright. I'm just gonna, moment, could bring it closer. Just move my palette and my paintbrush. Cool. Hello, Sorella. ASMR. ASMR brush is back. Yeah, it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling. I'm happily painting here right now. It's twitch.tv, not com, isn't it? TV/Beckie J Brown and youtube.com/Beckie. Oh gosh, go away. Don't want any gifts. youtube.com/Beckie J Brown Arts. I know what I haven't done. Didn't take a photo for the thumbnail. You know what? I feel 10 times better about this now that I have. I'm going to put this in my knickers. Not wearing any knickers. I'm going to put this in my trousers. Or in my bra. I haven't got any knickers or trousers. Where can I put this? I need a phone holder. Right, maybe it wasn't a good idea to use the heavy palette if I'm going to stand up, but oh well. Now I feel like a proper artiste. Jokes. I feel as far away as possible. I think about an hour before I came on here, I was sitting on the phone to my mum, talking about a few things, and I had a moment of self-doubt again, and sort of, not the wave of depression, but the wave of anxiety sort of hit me while I was on the phone to my mum. Is this good enough? Not just this, but, you know, am I good enough in general? So I probably come across like I've got my life all together, but I most certainly have not. It's almost like right now I'm prioritising certain things, like bills. What was the comment I made the other day about light to dark? I said something and I need to write it down. What's better, going from light to dark? Can you hear that? I bet you can. That'd be so cool if you do. That'd be so nice. Okay, let's go in somewhere else. I almost think like I need you on the other side, but my lead isn't long enough, unfortunately. And this is where it helps to stay far away from your painting. I'm learning, relearning. Frenchie, hello. It's like I keep looking at my reference photo for a reference, but there is no reference. Not now, anyway. I'm just going to think of my old blending from when I was a teenager. I need way more oil. Make it as oily as possible, then you can go over it. And it'll be nice and shiny. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm 17. Can you see a little brush? Just stab the canvas. Okay. I'd like it to be lighter really, but not too much heavy paint near the canvas, Rebecca. It's almost like get the colours on, then panic. Hey, that's lighter. That should be as, yeah, fine. Fine, fine. I know I need to paint a little bit more on the outside there. I know that. And this is the feeling, if you were here the other day, I mentioned the feeling of the satisfaction, like with a shuttlecock, that sort of, when you whack it with a racket, that sort of nice, relaxing feeling. I'm getting that right now. It's kind of nice. Oh, Jamie boy. It's going to be fun cleaning this brush later. I think I'll give the short answer, yes. Would I make prints? Short answer, yes. That's my short answer. Oh, I'm over here now, I suppose. Yeah, maybe. Ooh, this is nerve-wracking. Ha ha ha, there we go. Hooray. Join the two, you can't see. Join the two together. Okay. There we go. Well, I suppose I could paint over it. My plan is to get the basis on and then sort of go in more quickly. It's hard at the bottom. See, that hasn't got enough paint on for me. Do detail later, come on. So tempting though. Especially whilst it's wet. I love the feeling, I love the feeling. Oh yeah. See, for now, this is just a colour. I need to go in and really create some swirls, some dark swirls, like also with a bit of red. But not yet, not yet. And I am just about following the lines that I draw on the canvas. If you were to play back what I did, roughly, she says. Oh yeah, because that's the microphone. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's why you're hearing it. That looks kind of like a shooting star over the top. Mitchie, hello. I don't think I've missed anybody else. No. Hello, Mitchie. Because I can't hear the noise actually because I've got music playing. I'll bring that down. Cool. So I don't want them symmetrical. And then that'll be light there. Woohoo! September. What's September? If that's a link, then that must mean that James is there. Thank you, James. I am quite surprised at the precision of this little brush I'm using. When I was actually buying the brushes, because thanks to the wonderful donations from you guys on my first stream, I was able to go out and buy a few brushes. But when I was looking at brushes, they didn't have all the ones I wanted, like the size-wise, but I didn't know what brushes to buy for precision. It's all very well buying brushes that you can put paint on canvas, like, but actually being precise is something else, for me anyway. So I was a little bit worried I didn't have any, but actually that's quite precise. It's better than I thought. Some people might not actually like the noise. I feel like I need a bigger brush. I've got a bigger brush. Follower, I did hear that. Crino 100, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, mate. How's it going? I'm just gonna put some paint on my camera, on my thing. It's been a while since I squirted that much white. I'm gonna try something. Hold on. See, that's small. Where's the big brush? I'm nervous. Give me some oil, babe. I haven't used this much oil in about 8 years in one go, like this, like big splodges of paint. This brush is huge. Look at this, look how big this is. Oh, I'm only tiny. Yeah, I don't think I can be as precise with this. Blending's better though. It's a lot better. Oh, see, no, keep it light, keep it light. Keep it light, keep it light. Stick to the light bits. Getting annoyed with myself. I'm leaving a bit of a gap there for a minute because I know I actually need to go around the bottle. Note to self, buy another palette. Yeah, I have got a plastic one, but it's more a warm palette. I try to keep my palettes separate, especially mid-painting. I only use like cools on one and warms on the other. Okay. Stick to the light. Stick to the light. Be an optimist. I'm not an optimist. Stick to the light. Okay, I give up. Let's go in with the dark. Let's get in there. I hadn't even thought about the edge of the canvas yet. I didn't think I would get that far today. Lost my detail a little bit, I suppose. But I can always put it in. My hands are aching a little bit. No, it's not as precise. Now you would not be able to do this with acrylics. Not in this way, not at all. No. Unless you were super, super fast, which I am not. Try and get that in there. Now I remember why it was so addictive. Read the comments, thank you. It's funny, the bigger it got, the less oil I'm using. It's almost like you don't need the oil by this point, only a little bit, whereas when it's tiny, to sort of have that control, I added more oil. I don't really need to now. Turn it sideways to make it more precise, I suppose. See, is it too generic to go too dark there? Someone did comment about James earlier, I did notice. Yes, I'm super grateful to him, both. He's been so lovely the last 2 weeks or so, like so supportive. I forget if I've said this in a stream this week, but one of the things that sort of struck me was, hey, not that you guys, I don't believe what you guys say about me and things like that. I'm not very good at receiving compliments, but it's one thing when the internet says you're pretty or you've done something really cool. When someone that genuinely loves you says, you know, well done, that is a huge part of your life that says something like that, it means so much. So the fact he is proud and thinks I'm good is nice. I have been nervous watching the streams back. I don't usually watch my streams. I mean, I watched a few just to see whether the lag was out and sort of almost like analyse them a little bit because we can actually see statistics. So when I stop looking at the chat, the views go down, which is, you know, makes sense. But as I said, it's kind of, for me, I'm not used to painting, let alone used to engaging simultaneously. It's going to take a bit of time to get better at that. Hold the brush further away and it'll get easier. Just get a coat of paint everywhere. My arm's really hurting actually with this bowl. It's too heavy. Hold on, I'm just having a quick look. Okay, James should come over the big finish. I was thinking that. I'm just gonna put this down, just for a moment. Oh, I know why, my computer chair isn't there. It's heavy. Hi Becky, I sent you a book called Things You Can Only See When You Slow Down. My goodness, that was a long time ago. I've got it, hold on. I can't pick it up. But, where is it? There. It's there. It's next to my Higgy book and Hold Back the Stars. Higgy? Have I said? Oh, I don't get paint in my hair. Higgy? Have I said that right? Higgy? I really like that. I did write a review on Goodreads about it, actually. It's definitely a book you don't read in one go. My palette's gone. You read it over a period of time, or when you sort of need just a hint of inspiration or you're feeling a little bit low. I think it's a brilliant book, and I'm very, very grateful for it. Thank you. I remember reading it in my parents' garden, actually. With Archie. There's a photo of Archie somewhere, or maybe I haven't shared it, I can't remember. Of Archie sunbathing in the garden with the book next to him. I love my cat. Thank you. That was a while ago, 2016 perhaps. I know I'm overdue to do a... Go away. You didn't see that. Hit my head on the light. Or maybe you did, sorry. I need to do a post office video. Admittedly, I haven't had that much sent to my post office box in the last 6 months, and one of the reasons I'm keeping it open at the moment is for business. It's good to have a safe space that is nowhere near where you live, because it's still in the town where I sort of grew up. So I like having a little bit of distance there, safety-wise. And every now and again companies send me things, not too regularly anymore, because I've sort of stopped doing that, I suppose. But it is still open. I don't visit it as much either. I had somebody send me a fountain pen, which I've actually started using. I tried using it with some art last week. I did a rose, I think. Part of me thinks now I've just put the colour on, keep it simplistic. I'm not decided enough. ASMR. Oh, I need to scroll down, sorry. Ex-Fallen Angel, thank you. Out of curiosity, how did James and I meet? I won't say how, but we've known each other for many, many months now. And we sort of knew each other as friends before we realised we had so much in common. One of the first things I think that sort of brought us together was music. So we listened to the same music, and like progressive house and all these hour-and-a-half, 2-hour long music playlists that are on YouTube. And there was just one afternoon where I was showing him all the time codes of where my favourite parts of the music start, because I never had Spotify, so I didn't know that you could sort of access music in that way. So for me, YouTube was the way I sort of listened to music, and he knew all my time codes, and he was like, yeah, that's the best bit. Yeah, it's really cool. I've never had anybody in real life like the same music as me. Like, I used to love Enya, I still love Enya, but there was a period of my life where Enya was my focus, and no one I knew liked Enya. It was granny music. Have a sip of water, I think. From a distance, I think that needs to be a lot lighter. So, where's my white paint? Oh, excuse me. It is. I mean, self-help books, there's a fine line. Like I've had, when I sort of said that I'd been diagnosed with a few things last year, I had a flood of self-help books for disorders come in and things like that, and I hadn't actually said what I'd been diagnosed with. That I found, because I appreciated people who sent them out of love, but at the same time, I didn't quite know how to react. I hadn't said what I had, so getting loads of books about BPD and things that I don't actually have come through the post was hard to handle. But no, things like that. The book you're talking about, lovely. Because I know I think in early 2017 I tried to talk about that, how people were sending me books, and I sort of was torn between saying thank you and also saying please don't send me specific disorder books. No, I haven't told the internet what I've been diagnosed with, but at the same time, I don't know whether I believe in what I've been diagnosed with, because my therapist said that she didn't think I had what I've been diagnosed with, so And the internet's very unforgiving. So for example, having said that I'm very open, having been very open about depression, now whenever I feel sad or say that I'm sad or whatever, everyone suddenly thinks I'm depressed and suicidal, when sometimes no, not necessarily. So opening up about something that happened in 2017, like the diagnosis and stuff like that, could be haunting me even now. Sharing online is quite finite. No going back. I just wanted a bit of privacy, I suppose. That got quite deep, didn't it? Hey! My brain definitely does work differently. I don't process social situations very well. I don't read signals. I don't process conversations in the same way. I always perceive that people hate me, or that they will hate me, so I won't engage. And I'm not very good at making decisions. I'm sad a lot, but then it could also be my chemical makeup. I might go in a little bit with that later. And I have high anxiety. I don't actually like leaving the house. I never used to be like that. Like I used to, my mum works with children that don't go to school for various reasons. They have terminal cancer or have any form of cancer, they've broken a leg, they've been suspended for trying to burn the school down, stuff like that. She deals with loads of different children that for various reasons can't go to school. And although her job's changed over the years, it was kind of bizarre how I didn't end up being one of the children she taught because I struggled with school. We wonder whether or not I would have benefited from home education. No. And practice doesn't help, by the way, with the anxiety. You'd have thought it would, like even in the swimming pool, every time I approach a customer, potential customer, the fear inside of me is, oh my gosh, they hate me, they hate me, they hate me, they hate me. You would have thought after a while, you'd be like, nah, just get in there and do it. No, every time, terrified. And it's not a nice feeling either. At the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, I feel like I've tackled my overall anxiety, but I'm not happy overall. Wait, I'll read the chat because I've not looked for a few minutes. It's a lot lighter than it is on there. On there, it looks a bit more contrasted. It's not quite as that. It does come across a bit lighter in real life. The blue, anyway. Could be the colours. Could be too saturated. Why do I do so many product videos? Well, it depends. It depends on the time period you're talking about. So, I have always talked about things I've loved. So if you go back to that 2008, I talk about films I went to see or DVDs, yeah. So I remember talking about Ashes to Ashes in 2008 and held up the DVD cover. So in a way, that's a product. And I was quite late to the product scene because I didn't have any hair throughout my entire teens. So my experience right up until I was about 21, 22 of shampoo was just use whatever mum bought or whatever's on offer. When I was completely bald, I didn't use shampoo. The most tiniest bit. A shampoo bottle could last me over a year when I had no hair. I mean, you do wash your head, but when you have literally no hair, there's no hair to lather up, so just rinse it. So I think around 2013, I did my first video where I was like, right, I'm going to sit down and specifically talk about 10 things that I love. I was wearing a green shirt. See? No jump cut to think and process. I'm remembering. I think it was around April to June 2013. I was wearing a wig. I overdid my makeup. Again, I didn't wear makeup until I was probably about 21, 22. I was quite adamant I wouldn't wear makeup either, actually. But I sort of had an exploration period between 2013, 2014, early 2015 with Lush. But I don't know, I like talking about things that I'm passionate about or stuff that helps me get through the day, like even with products. A big thing that I think lots of people forget is when you have trichotillomania and you go like 8 years without having any hair to suddenly have hair, any hair that you can sort of experiment with, it's a massive thing. So all of a sudden, because I had all this hair, let me just turn that around. Life changed, like even getting in the shower, I had hair to wash. So that was a huge thing. Like even now, there's I'd like to do a video about my makeup table, but my makeup table has got products on it. So it's not that I'm choosing to do products, it's just something I'm passionate about. I know that another big reason, and this sort of stepped in 2015, 2016, is that I stopped feeling comfortable talking about certain subjects, or I would try and talk about certain subjects, but then in editing or whilst I was filming, I'd lose it. As in, like, I'd lose my speed or I'd lose my confidence, or I just never got the videos finished. And when you're depressed, you don't really want to talk about how great your life is because your life isn't great. But you can talk about shampoo. I need the smaller brush, I think, for this bit. I sound sarcastic, I don't mean to. Maybe I will leave this simplistic. That was not my intention. It does look far more, I'll keep saying it, but it does. It looks far more contrasted on there than on here. It's not as sharp as that. Okay, let's get my smaller brush, I think. Wherever it is. Where's my... Ah. Right, let me read the chat. I know someone this week tried to diagnose my autism by talking about my vocabulary. That was kind of weird. They did apologise actually, but at the same time, it's amazing people try and diagnose. Can you see over my shoulder or am I blocking it? Just. Can I tilt it perhaps? Woo-hoo-hoo. Look at that. Put the arm down. The arm's very tight. I'm trying to get paint on the sofa. Steady hand. Okay, cool. That's painted to the edge. I do actually prefer to be called Rebecca, but I appreciate that all my branding is Beckie, and my life has been Beckie online for so many years. So online, I don't mind. But offline, definitely Rebecca. See, this bit of the canvas is actually still wet from earlier, so we have to be so careful. This bit isn't. Let's come in here for a minute. I've got so much blue left over. See, that looks wet, but it's not wet. It's because it's shiny because of the linseed oil. I think when it's drier, I'm going to have to go over just a few of the edges, but that was my plan originally. Okay, good. So that's actually dry. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm not listening to Pilgrimage. Let's make that whiter. You see down there? Ooh. Ha ha. And what's great is in Photoshop, shouldn't really be talking about Photoshop, I suppose, I can change the background, I can change the hue of it. I just cut around the bottle. So if I want the prints to be pink, I can actually change the hue of the blue. Now this should definitely take a while to dry when I'm done. Yeah, cats are with my parents. Missing them terribly. Did try to bring Puss back because she was much better actually, but no, she was unwell, definitely unwell. And even though she's gone back to my parents, she's still unwell. So it wasn't like the flat made her unwell. I need to finish this down the side. So. Ooh, Twitch. Thank you. Osred? I thought it was Offred, like Handmaid's Tale. Thank you. I know I'm holding the brush too close, but I don't have any small oils or brushes. I can't get in any closer. Gotta leave some detail. See, now it's all wet, it's harder to hold. It's definitely not as saturated as that. Yeah. Definitely need to overcomplicate it. It's too simplistic. Okay, so you can see the white I've left. Just a little bit, it tucks in a little bit there. Comes like a bubble, needs to go in a bit more. At some point I will go over that with a really dark, maybe, I don't know, a few weeks, once it's dry. Still so wet from a few minutes ago. Right, I can't go in any closer with that because it's so wet. Oh, so careful. Come on. Come on, Rebecca. Come on. So yeah, some people might have suggested like doing an acrylic background and then painting with the oils over the top. But from my experience, it wouldn't work. Colour, yes, perhaps, but I want to change, see if I can change the contrast on that because it's not as sharp as that on here. Colour correction. Maybe a little bit less. Okay. Have I watched anything on Netflix recently? I don't, well, Bake Off, the original Bake Off series. Right, I'm using my acrylic brush, no, using my acrylic brush for my oils to go up close. I have been watching the Bake Off series from the very beginning. Actually, I did that in May. I started from the very beginning, but now I have James and I've introduced James to the land of Bake Off. We've both been watching from the beginning. It's very different at the beginning. It's an entirely different show. Hold on, just let me concentrate on this bit, then I'll read the chat. Canvas is shaking. bunny's loving the sound. I'm surprised the bunny can hear it. Why did I choose to go to film school when I was younger? Well, I was offered, it's a very long and complicated backstory to how I got to this point. But I was in a situation where I was, hold on, let me turn this around, walking out of university, passed, but I walked out, and I got a scholarship slash bursary to go to film school. And in my naive little mind, I was still in the mindset of, oh my gosh, I've got to finish education. Like, I can't lose any years, can't lose any time. I jumped and said yes. When in theory, they said I could wait 6 months and start. I was like, nope, I'm starting straight away. I should have waited. Had I waited, I don't think I would have gone. That's what I meant in, I forget, what video did I say it in? Ah, the one with the book deal. I said sometimes I've learned from my mistakes. Just because someone opens a door doesn't mean you have to take it. You don't have to go through it. My younger self was a little bit obsessed with doing everything on time. So I didn't want to waste any years in education. I didn't want to repeat any years. So when my college were literally going to throw me out because I was too mentally unwell to sort of finish the year, instead of going, yes, okay, I'm mentally unwell, I need a breather before I literally kill myself, instead of doing that, I didn't take a break. I continued and I dropped an A-level and managed to get a BTEC Media done in 6 months that most kids do in 2 years. But I practically murdered myself to get any sort of grades to get to university. Not that I'm saying that the college was sort of offering me a way out. They were actually very unfair. Like nowadays, things are a little bit different, I think. Because I wasn't dying from cancer or I didn't have some sort of physical ailment. My trich didn't count. They literally said, you know, leave and come back. But if you come back, you have to start from A2. You can't repeat the year. It's a bit tricky, really. Very difficult situation for a 17-year-old to be in. Yeah, I really, really regret that period of my life between 16 and 21. Heavily regret, like so much. I don't feel anybody understands how much I sort of hurt over that. I mean, if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't be the same person I am right now. Like, say, for example, the big job that I went for in August that I didn't get, got to the final 2. If I had gotten that, then I wouldn't be painting right now. So, all works out, I suppose. Like I was saying to Mum, should I have gone and done English at university as opposed to film, like to begin with? Because I did have the grades, up until a certain point anyway. Because now I have a degree in a subject I don't really want to do anymore. I don't want to go anywhere near a film set. Will I ever post my final project? I don't think so, no. I think I've got to a point where I am no longer that person in that video. And I don't think I could cope with the stigma that would come my way. I'm also very, there's a few things that happened to me that I don't really want to talk too much on this because this is a live stream. But a few things happened during the filming process of that project that I didn't talk about at the time. That sort of, you hear things about like creators and what they go through with people and, you know, sexual allegations and stuff, but just, yeah, I have bad memories of the project for lots of different reasons. But I did do it, and it was showcased at the Prince Charles Theatre in London, along with all the other graduation films from Met. I was quite surprised actually, some of the films at the event, and you can see the back of my hair, you can see where I've been tearing. Some of the films weren't actually finished. I was really shocked. When I studied at NIFA in New York, some of the films weren't finished. My film wasn't finished. My cameraman forgot to bring his boom mic and I think, was it the SD cards? So we couldn't shoot for a while and it all went tits up basically. So I know lots of people didn't finish there. Try and make that darker, but I think it's too wet. Right, we need to get some detail into this. This is not good. This is, the base coat's on, but not happy, not happy. Not happy with that. It looks worse on there though. I don't want it to be simplistic. I don't want it to be it's almost like I can't make my mind up. I'm not good with making decisions. Lol. Trying not to get oil paint everywhere. Right, this light is actually making it harder for me to see what I'm doing. So what can I do? Can I turn it down a little bit? Can I change the angle of the canvas? I'm struggling to see it. See, if I was painting on my own, this wouldn't be a problem. Hold on, I've got paint everywhere. Can I straighten it up a little bit? No, it's still too shiny for me, I'm afraid. Please don't fall over. Okay. Maybe. Okay, let's take some of this oil off my hand. She says. Can't reach the tissue. I can, I'll keep saying it, sorry. I can see the Twitch comments, by the way. I can see them, even though they're not showing on the YouTube video, I can see them. Okay, I can see my messy kitchen behind me. Excuse me. Right, let's draw some lines in. I mean, I can always blur them together if I really, really don't like them. Why am I holding? I'm still holding my arm like I've got the. Let's just hold my hand behind me. Yeah. Think of Coraline. Come on, Rebecca. Although I did Coraline in acrylic, so still didn't like her though. The hair. Okay, I'm going to put a lot more paint on there to get the paint. Let's mix a little bit of purple together. Let's see if adding that will make any difference. Dum dee da dum dum da 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 dum dum. Okay. Maybe I should wait for this to dry a little bit. I'm learning. Okay, it's just slightly a different colour. Let's just see. I can't see. If I go there, I can see it better because the light's not in front of it. Not reflecting off it. Maybe I do that. Maybe I do some lines and things and come back into it when it's drier. That might be an idea. So I love this. Too simplistic. Gosh, my arm's tired. My screen was just flashing. Ooh. How's the chocolate? I must admit, that photo, the two photos I put up this morning were not actually from this morning. They are from May or April. I've been in my drafts for a while now. It was the day actually I was at my new job, but my mum was in the town I live in. So on my lunch break I went out with my mum to this pub somewhere. It was really nice. But I never actually shared the photos. The last hot chocolate I sort of had like that was with James in a lovely restaurant near where we live. And they do almond milk and things like that. Oh, my hot chocolate, I forgot it. I did an oat milk hot chocolate and I forgot it. Oh, I was just staring at, look, I forgot about it. Thank you, I would have forgotten otherwise. I knew there was something I'd forgotten. See, that's actually purple. Putting in my line. See that? Even that's just a little bit better. So. Woohoo! That did well. Can't even see that. Hold on, let me just get a little bit more of that. There we go. Currently last masterclass and I still finish my thesis. See, when I finished, well, film school, but that was technically university, my YouTube was my full-time employment and I was earning enough to sustain myself on that. I mean, even the period when, I need to do 20 more seconds. Hold on. In that period I had between November and January, I was paid £6,000 to work with a brand on something. Not a brand, it was a whole entire company, but basically like a brand sponsorship thing. So that got me through, and it was just an income. So I wasn't unemployed. I've never had benefits, and I've never been on the arse doing nothing. It was just a different way of working. It's like on my CV, there's like a massive gap for a period of time, but my job was YouTube. Okay, that's a little bit better. Old paint on my spoon. It's not as good as that. The oat milk from Rude Health is really good, but the Outproof Soya oat milk is very watery. It doesn't have the same consistency, doesn't taste as nice. I haven't bought milk, proper milk, in a few months now. Probably the last time I used it was when we were doing cooking, when you need milk. Mind my head on the light. Woohoo! What was I saying? Oh yeah. Gotta think, I suppose. That's where I was going when you mentioned about taking a break. I sort of didn't have a break. And then I went into nannying for a little bit. I was a nanny for a child in London. Took it over from my sister for a little bit to give her a break when she was taking all her exams for a couple of weeks. And then I managed to get a job with Lush. Oh no, I did do a few interviews actually in that period. I didn't just go straight to Lush. I interviewed at Hive actually. Hive? Not Hive the place, Hive the company, the online like CV stuff. Didn't go well. I was at Lush, then I came home after about 8 months or so. And then YouTube was really dipping by that point. What was that? What's that? James! I have a cheer! That's the first cheer I think I've ever had. Gosh, thank you, James. Well, it would come from you, wouldn't it? You're cheering. Have you just joined? Or have you been listening to my sob story the last half an hour? You are welcome to come over, by the way. Sun's out. Miserable this morning. Bum ba dum bum bum. Kind of want to follow the contours of the bottle. Is my heating on? No, and I'm not going to turn my heating on either. We are going to suffer. It's another reason why I'm nervous of you moving in, because we're going to suffer with heat. I thought you were strong. You said you didn't feel the cold. I've got a thin duvet now because you said you didn't feel the cold. You come over, you suffer. Yeah. So you do feel the cold. You're weak. You're really weak. Yes, just keep it away from the oil paint, James. So I'm sort of treating this a bit like acrylics. I've gone the other way now, haven't I? Oh, thank you, James. Yep, James has fixed this Twitch stream. So if you comment on Twitch now, you'll see yourself on the YouTube video. On the live stream video. Dum, 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 dum. Worst comes to the worst, I'll cut it out in Photoshop. Better to have a go than not at all. Good idea. Goodbye, Frenchie. That's looking a bit better. That's not as good as I'd like. I'm actually getting really ticked off with this now. I've gone from being really happy to, oh my god, I want to scribble all over it. I've gone the opposite. It's bizarre, isn't it? Maybe it's the brushes, in the sense I can't control them in the way I'd like. Maybe it's the amount of paint. Maybe it's the speed. What have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? Let's change brush. I know I knocked the light, sorry. Ooh! James just subscribed. James, the thing is though, when you have James live as on James, it sounds like you've died and you're living off in heaven somewhere. So I can't actually see the colour because that's shining, it's reflecting off me and I can't actually see it. It's really aggravating. Maybe wait for that to dry. I keep saying that and then I keep painting. Kind of would like to get this done. I'm not happy. It's too high now. I'm gonna see if I can get to November without any heating. It's too expensive. See, I'm not going to sell the original painting, no way, but raffle does sound like a good idea. Like little paintings perhaps, but the idea of selling the original like this makes me really nervous. But I appreciate the tip. What would you call it? Tip? Suggestion, that's what I'm thinking of. There we go. It's sort of the first big painting I've done for a while. In many, many years, I suppose. I mean, the other one I didn't finish. So technically I can't say. Maybe. Could do a little bit more on that one, I suppose. Come on, calm down. Oh, I fished it. There you go. I'm also nervous how much electricity these lights are using. I will see on my next electricity bill. So I can't do that now because the canvas is wet. Ah! It's sunny now. Okay, cool. That little bit's done. Almost. My brush is dead. It's all gone quiet for a minute. Sorry. Okay, that's much sharper, which is good. Oh, you told me you couldn't see my face. There you go. Oh, subscribed. Got it. Just got it. I'm so stupid. In order to subscribe, you have to be an affiliate. So that means I'm now an affiliate then. Got it. So now you can subscribe. Why am I so stupid? Why did that take me so long to process that? Thank you, James. What am I listening to right now? I am listening to a Headlock remix. Just a playlist I put together on Spotify of sort of popish. No, I'm not listening to that. I'm listening to the chilled playlist I put together. But this one sort of hit half and half because it's a remix. It's really good. But a whole playlist of chilling sort of synthish music. I'm not very good at describing music, I don't think. Yeah, I find music helps me work. Working in silence makes me stressed out, or when I can hear other people working or living. So when I can hear my neighbours, it makes me really stressed. I don't feel I'm alone. I feel like there's people in my flat. It's a little bit like a butterfly. Looks a bit like a nipple, actually. Share the playlist. I can do. I can't actually remember how to do it right now. But knowing James, he probably does. Because I didn't realise, I thought Spotify, you could use it, not like social networks, but I thought it was far more open if you wanted it to be. You can just share links. Okay, cool, we got some blue in there. That's good. Not 100% keen on that, but it'll do. Okay, we'll add one more of those in. Gosh, I'm tired. In my brain right now, I'm sort of going over the outside, even though I'm not looking at it. In my brain, I'm thinking about it. And I'm stressed out by it. Like I want to scribble all over it. I'm really annoyed at myself. Because the thing is, if I have to let it dry, that's another 3 days. That's another 3 days of living in chaos with mess. If I was not doing this right now, what would I be doing? I would be editing a video for YouTube. One with James and I. We actually recorded it on the 2nd of August, but the footage corrupted. That's the short story. But yeah, it corrupted, and then we had to record the screen, and that's why I've been put off editing it, because the quality's not as good. And I actually finished editing it. So the video recording we've got is 22 minutes, and the video that I edited was 15, but I don't have that edit anymore. So I have already finished editing it. Have to re-edit it. I'm actually using oils. End on the, no, they said it's on an M there. I can't actually see because that is shining right on it to the point where I almost need to like get rid of it. Can I paint without the light, please? But then you guys can't see it, so it's really stressful, this. I don't really want the light there at all. I can't see it. Can't see what I'm painting. No, not listening to that. Gareth and Me, Long Way Home, and then it should be done. Butterfly Remix. Yeah, Butterfly Remix. If I sit there, I can see it 10 times better. Favourite medium? I wouldn't say I have a favourite at the moment. I'm working more on getting back in with oils. Oils were my medium for a long time. So I guess oils. And hello if you're new. Hi. If you're coming in right now, it's a weird moment for me because I'm sort of half feeling great about how much I've got done, but I'm not feeling very good mentally right now in terms of what I've created. The last 20 minutes or so, I'm just like, ah, in my brain, like really unhappy. So it's kind of like working on something you don't want to work on now. I kind of want to pack up my paints and stop for a little bit. But no, I've sort of got to get this done, I suppose. Or get as much done as I can, because I think I'm going to have to wait for some of this to dry. Just doing a little bit of an experiment before I give up for a little bit, just to see if this looks any better. See, it does look better on there. On there, it is a little bit sharper on here. I'm also having to work super hard because the canvas is really wet, so that's another reason to stop. Hair. See, right now I'm making markings in the wet oil, so you might not be able to see. I'm really unhappy because it looks messy. It looks very amateur around the edges. Really amateur, to the point where I'm just like, yeah, not happy. I mean, obviously, like, you keep working on it. You don't just go, oh, no, that's it, it's all over. No, you have to keep working on it. And if something isn't finished, then of course it's not going to be great, because that's how you get from A to B. But at the same time, I'm so unhappy. Insert swear words, I suppose. Favourite chocolate bar? I don't really eat chocolate anymore. So I don't really have a favourite one. I used to love hot chocolate. Like, reminding me to drink it. I'm not going to get out for a minute. I like Kinder Buenos, but it's not quite chocolate bar. That's more hazelnut. Got paint everywhere. Not that I'm saying it is incredible and it's just me going, I don't like it. But in my history, I've always been too critical. So I might really, really hate something, and yet my teacher or art teachers at school might go, oh my God, that's incredible. And I'm like, no, no, burn it all. Burn it all, get rid of it. I suppose it sort of brings us to an interesting conversation as to when you're streaming and you're very, very unhappy with what you're creating. So, like, one of the things that's put me off painting and creating is because everyone is so talented and awesome. Because you always see people online with their creations when their creations are absolutely beautiful and perfect and done, or to such a high standard. You don't tend to see people like when they're starting off or beginning to practice. It's all already, people are already incredible. So right now, if I wasn't streaming, I would get up, walk away and sort of scream for a little bit and then put it away for 6 months. That's sort of where my brain is right now. I've really dipped. Can't really do that. Sending James a picture. No. Amateur. Can't write the word amateur, James. Amateur. See, when it's oils, you can't just paint over the top. You've already got colour on the canvas. So it's a case of either letting it dry and coming back to it when I feel mentally better, which could take a good week or so. And then I probably won't paint it again. I've sudded it up, really. Oh, and by the way, just in case anyone does think I'm talking about it in the way I am for compliments, I'm not. I genuinely, absolutely hate this right now. James says it looks nice, but I disagree. The bottle, yeah, bottle's fine, but the rest of it, no. I'm trying something. can't quite see what I'm trying to do. Okay, you might be able to see that a little bit better. See, I know I can do better, that's the problem. And also, I don't like how long it's taking me as well. Like, I feel like it should have been done about an hour ago. Ah! Oh, come on! Ah! It won't let me put white in. My canvas won't let me put white in it. I'm trying to make that line really crisp. And I really can't see because of the light. Hello, neighbour. Oh, shut up. It's not that I'm impatient, I'm embarrassed and very, very stressed out by it all of a sudden. Like, but then if I stop, I won't pick it up again. That's my problem. I won't come back to it. I'll just burn it or throw it away. Got paint in my I want to flick my hair over. So if I stop, that'll be the end. So I want to make it darker, but it's not going dark because it's already got paint on it, which is hugely, hugely frustrating. I can't actually see what I'm doing because the light's behind me. I'm sort of not talking out loud a little bit, because if I talk out loud, then it will just make me more depressed. In the sense, not because what you're talking to me is depressive. It's the fact that I know that I will spiel and spiral. So I'm not going to talk for a minute. Got a little bit more pattern in there, which is good. What are they doing out there? I know one of my neighbours has like a fancy old-fashioned 80s car. And there's another neighbour that has a very loud motorbike. Okay. I'm not listening to that one. It's ours. Problem. That's a big problem with oils. Right, okay. Don't eat your fingers. Got oil all over them. Have I got oil on my face now? Possibly. I've hidden my face. Hello. I think I blend some of this out that I haven't painted over, and I stop and let it dry and maybe come back to it. I'm really upset. I know it's not a good way to end a stream, I suppose, but I'm really unhappy, and it's completely brought down my mood. Which is terrible, because I felt really good actually earlier on. I think some of it's already drying. How can that be? Just so if I come back to it, it's got a it's blended a bit more. This is actually one of my biggest fears, is sodding up in front of people. Because if this was a video, then I'd stop it. I'd stop the recording. And maybe not even showcase what I've done, which I have actually done numerous times. So I've got to this point whilst creating and then gone, scribbled all over it, ripped it up, thrown it away, deleted the footage. And then people think I haven't actually tried to do anything because I haven't showcased what I've worked on, even though I didn't finish it. So maybe it's a good example. suppose. Rebecca does try and doesn't always like what she creates. Or it takes her a lot longer to finish something because she doesn't like it as much as she wishes she would. That's terrible. Can't seem to blend that with my paintbrush, so let's use my fingers instead. Okay. Woohoo! Let me just quickly pat down my hands because they are covered in paint. See, colour-wise, blue, it's the right blue, it's just the pattern. Just gonna turn that the other way just so I can see. See there, I can see the colour 10 times better when the light's not on it. Okay. It's almost like I need the light there to be able to see what the hell I'm painting. We come back to this. We come back to this. Maybe I'll finish the other one. See, it's a little bit better. I wish that was sharper there. In a second, I'll bring the camera a bit closer. Can't quite do that for a minute. Hold on, just getting all this. I have blue hands. Otherwise, it's more for me to clean up on my wires. Okay, the blue. Right, let's go in. Try not to get that everywhere. So, it's a bit more detailed than it is when it's further away. Not happy with this. I think I might have put too much paint on the canvas. I didn't think I was putting that much on, but I think we wait for it to dry, come back in and sort of create a little bit more like this, more lining movements. I did a few testers. Try to get it to focus. I don't think it's in focus. There's all my mess, by the way. But that bit, that's a lot better. Can't get it to focus too well. Yeah, from a distance, it's fine. It's fine. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot lilac or maroon or whatever. But it's not good. Not finished. As for the rest of it, this I haven't touched today. I've done a few little tiny lines. I added that bit. I might go over that in black in a little bit, but not right now. I did a black outline down the edge of it as well. Curved that round. And then the top's a lot bigger than it was when I started. It's a lot bigger. Actually, I'm holding the thing at an angle, so it's not quite, looks slanted actually like that. Maybe curve that round a little bit more. But yeah. I'm just gonna have a quick look at the chat before I disappear because I've not looked at it for about 2 minutes or so, maybe longer. So I want to check I'm not missing anything. I've got paint everywhere. Continue practicing. Oh yeah, continue practicing. Not bad. Yeah, I think let it dry. Get drier. Right now there's too much paint. Like James suggested painting it black. I'm like, nope, can't do that with oils. Can't do, well, when it's dry perhaps, but not right now. Okay, I can hear my music actually, gosh. Maybe even try it later. We'll see how the paint dries, how long it takes. Right, apologies for the last half an hour. It's my headphones. Apologies. Art's like this though sometimes. Good days, bad days. Just looking at different things. That line needs painting in there. Okay, cool. Yeah, distance. Because what happens is when I sit here painting, the stream is on my right, and then I can see a smaller version of the video. I can see exactly what you guys are watching, but it does also look very different when it's that compressed. So I think for some people this would be finished right now, but for me I'm very unhappy, so no. But it does look kind of different when it's smaller. I know on a print, if you compress it down even further, it'll be even smaller. So, if it was smaller, then okay, but I feel it needs more detail in it. Okay, so I don't know when I'll stream next, or maybe I'll stream something else next time I come on. I've got that other painting I suppose I could finish. But I need a breather for a little bit. Cool. I really do appreciate the support in the comments, despite the fact I'm annoyed. I'm not annoyed with you guys at all. I'm annoyed with my own self, my own lack of talent, I suppose. No, I really, really appreciate the support. Sorry it's not finished. I kind of wanted to finish it today. Dang it. Have I got blue paint on my ear? No. And that's the back of my head. Isn't it cool? Right, just check there's nothing else. Brilliant. Thank you. Sorry it's not been too good. We'll do better next time. Okay. Bye-bye. It's okay. We have good days and bad days. Or as Bob Ross says, happy accidents. Bye-bye.